What if you could get money advice straight from Oprah Winfrey and Mellody Hobson, two of the most influential women in business and finance? Imagine being in your 20s, trying to figure out how to save, how to invest, and how to live without constant financial stress. Now imagine hearing the exact tips that help them build empires and long-lasting security. In this video, we will uncover the best money advice Oprah and Mellody Hobson have shared, and we will break it down in a way that is easy for Gen Z to apply right now. Let us start with Oprah. Oprah grew up with very little, but she learned early on the power of valuing money. One of her most famous lessons is that your money tells the story of your values. If you look at your spending, you will see exactly what matters to you. For example, if you say you value health but you never spend on good food or exercise, your money is not aligned with your values. Oprah encourages people to track where every dollar goes because it reveals your truth. Think of it like holding up a mirror. Many young people avoid looking at their bank statements because it feels uncomfortable, but Oprah says that facing it is the first step to control. Mellody Hobson, who is now the chairwoman of Starbucks and co-CEO of Ariel Investments, also started from humble beginnings. Her advice for young people is to face financial reality with courage. She uses the phrase, "Financial literacy is the civil rights issue of this generation." What she means is that without understanding money, you cannot truly be free. Mellody tells the story of how she grew up with a mother who often struggled to pay bills. Sometimes their electricity was cut off, and they even faced eviction. Instead of letting that pain defeat her, Mellody decided to learn everything she could about money. That knowledge became her power, and she wants Gen Z to understand that learning about money is not optional, it is survival. When you combine Oprah's focus on values and Mellody's focus on literacy, you get a powerful foundation. Step 1 for Gen Z is to make a budget that matches your values. If freedom matters to you, then make sure you spend less than you earn so that you have choices. If experiences matter to you, then set aside money for travel, but balance it with saving. A budget is not about restriction. It is about designing a life that fits your goals. Think about it. If you design your budget instead of letting life design it for you, you gain control. Another important lesson both women share is about debt. Oprah has said that debt robs you of freedom, and Mellody often tells young people to avoid credit card debt at all costs. For example, Oprah once shared that she never wanted to buy things that made her feel heavy, and debt is one of those things that makes life heavy. Mellody gives the example of compound interest working against you when you carry balances. If you buy a $100 pair of shoes on credit and pay only the minimum, you may end up paying $200 or more. That is money you could have invested instead. The summary here is simple. Use credit wisely, but never let it trap you. Now let us talk about building wealth. Oprah emphasizes generosity, but she also says you cannot pour from an empty cup. Save for yourself first. Mellody reinforces this by encouraging automatic saving. She says the easiest way to build wealth is to make saving non-negotiable. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You do it without thinking. For example, set up an automatic transfer so that a part of your paycheck goes straight into a savings or investment account. Over time, that habit creates security and opportunity. And for Gen Z, investing may feel intimidating, but Mellody Hobson insists it is one of the most important skills you can learn. She encourages starting with index funds and low-cost investments that track the stock market. She tells the story of how people often ask her about complicated strategies, but she reminds them that consistent, simple investing beats complicated moves. Imagine putting just $100 a month into an index fund starting at age 22. By the time you are 60, that can grow into hundreds of thousands of dollars. Time is the secret weapon of Gen Z. Oprah also talks a lot about gratitude and mindset. She says that no matter how much money you have, if you live in a mindset of lack, you will always feel poor. This is powerful advice for Gen Z, who often feel pressure to keep up with social media lifestyles. The message is that contentment comes from within, not from chasing every new gadget or fashion trend. Oprah reminds us that real wealth is being able to appreciate what you have while working for what you want. Before we go deeper, let me pause for a quick reminder. If you are enjoying this video and want more practical money advice, make sure you subscribe to Financial Freedom Path. We share tips, stories, and strategies that will help you take control of your financial journey. Subscribing means you never miss the tools you need to move closer to financial freedom. Now let us return to Mellody Hobson. She often warns against financial fear. She calls it being financially color-brave. This means you must talk about money openly, even when it is uncomfortable. Many families avoid the subject of money, but Mellody says silence only creates ignorance. She encourages young people to ask questions, to seek advice, and to never be ashamed of wanting to learn. For example, if you do not understand how student loans work, ask until you do. If you are unsure how to invest, find mentors, watch educational content, and read. Knowledge is the bridge from fear to freedom. Oprah's advice also connects here. She often tells young people to pay attention to who they surround themselves with. If your friends constantly spend and pressure you to overspend, you will struggle to keep control. But if you surround yourself with people who value saving, growth, and responsibility, you will rise with them. Oprah says that energy is contagious, and the same is true with money habits. For Gen Z, this means choosing wisely who you follow, both in real life and on social media. Another strategy Oprah and Mellody would both agree on is building an emergency fund. Life is unpredictable. A job loss, a medical bill, or a broken laptop can throw everything off. If you do not have an emergency fund, these events turn into financial crises. But if you save even a small cushion, you turn crises into inconveniences. Imagine having 3 months of expenses saved. That fund gives you confidence and flexibility. Mellody calls this sleep money because it lets you sleep at night without worrying about surprises. Let us also talk about giving and purpose. Oprah is known for her generosity, but she always reminds people that you should give from a place of abundance, not from guilt. Mellody Hobson agrees that money is not just about accumulation, it is also about impact. For Gen Z, this could mean supporting causes you care about, but only after you have secured your basic needs. When you give with intention, you create meaning with your money. And meaning is one of the greatest forms of wealth. So let us summarize what we have learned so far. Oprah teaches us that money reflects our values, that mindset matters, and that generosity flows from security. Mellody Hobson teaches us that financial literacy is essential, that investing early is powerful, and that open conversations about money create confidence. Both women remind us to avoid debt, to build savings, and to align our financial choices with our goals. Together, their advice creates a roadmap for Gen Z to follow. Think of it this way: if Oprah represents the heart of money, the emotional and spiritual side, and Mellody represents the brain of money, the technical and strategic side, then following both gives you balance. You cannot succeed with only one. You need both heart and brain, values and literacy, generosity and discipline. That is the formula for stress-free financial success. Now it is your turn. Take one lesson from Oprah and one lesson from Mellody Hobson and start applying them today. Maybe you track your spending this week to see if it matches your values. Maybe you set up an automatic transfer to savings, no matter how small. Every step counts. Bills, stress, and confusion do not have to define your financial life. You have the power to design it with intention. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to Financial Freedom Path for more inspiring and practical money lessons. We share insights from experts, real-life stories, and step-by-step strategies to help you build financial freedom. And get ready for our next video where we will reveal simple daily habits that can make you wealthy without feeling like you are sacrificing. You will not want to miss it.